If you've traveled across India, you've probably noticed that every state has its own identity. The language changes, the food changes, and the traditions change. But Kerala often feels different in ways that go beyond culture. It is one of India's most literate states. People here live longer than the national average, and healthcare reaches even small villages. No matter where you travel in the world, there's a good chance you'll meet someone from Kerala. At the same time, Kerala also faces challenges. Many young people leave the state for work, its population is aging faster than most of India, and floods and landslides have become more frequent. So, how did this narrow strip of land become what it is today? The answer isn't found in one king, one government, or one moment in history. It's the result of thousands of years of geography, trade, migration, ideas, and reform. To understand Kerala, we have to start with the land itself. Look at a map of India, and Kerala appears as a thin green strip stretching along the country's southwest coast. To the west is the Arabian Sea, and to the east rises the Western Ghats. Between them lies a landscape that is rarely more than 100 kilometers wide. It may look small, but this geography shaped everything that followed. The Western Ghats are among the oldest mountain ranges in the world. Running for nearly 1,600 kilometers along India's western edge, they form a natural barrier between Kerala and the Deccan Plateau. They also play a crucial role in India's climate by forcing moisture-laden monsoon winds to rise, bringing heavy rainfall to the western coast. Every year, the southwest monsoon reaches India through Kerala, with the first rains usually arriving here before moving across the rest of the country. For centuries, these rains fed rivers, forests, and fertile plains. Unlike the great rivers of northern India, Kerala's rivers are short. They begin in the mountains, flow quickly towards the sea, and along the way create wetlands, floodplains, and backwaters that support farming and fishing. Water became one of Kerala's greatest strengths. The lowlands produced rice, the coastline was lined with coconut palms, and the hills became home to spices that would one day be known across the world. But Kerala's greatest advantage wasn't just what grew here, it was where it was located. Facing the Arabian Sea, Kerala sat on one of the busiest maritime routes of the ancient world. Long before steam engines or modern navigation, sailors understood something remarkable. The monsoon winds changed direction every year. One season carried ships from Arabia and East Africa towards India, and months later, the winds reversed, carrying them home again. The sea itself became a reliable highway, and Kerala was one of its most valuable destinations. Nature had quietly created the perfect meeting point, protected by mountains, watered by dependable rains, and connected to distant civilizations by the sea. Geography had opened the door, and now the world was about to walk through it. Today, black pepper sits quietly on dining tables around the world. It's so common that most of us hardly think about it. But there was a time when pepper was one of the most valuable commodities on earth. In ancient Europe and the Mediterranean, spices did far more than add flavor to food. They were used in medicine, in perfumes, in religious ceremonies, and for preserving food. Among them, black pepper became especially prized, and much of that pepper came from the forests and hills of what is now Kerala. As demand grew, so did the trade. By the 1st century CE, merchant ships were crossing the Arabian Sea using the seasonal monsoon winds to reach the Malabar coast. Ancient texts such as the Periplus of the Erythraean Sea and the writings of Pliny the Elder describe this trade in remarkable detail. One port stood above all others, Muziris. Although its exact location is still debated, most historians associate it with the area around present-day Pattanam and Kodungalur in central Kerala. Archaeological discoveries, including Roman coins, amphora fragments, and Mediterranean ceramics, point to a thriving international trading center. Imagine standing on this coast nearly 2,000 years ago. Large wooden ships arrive from distant lands, their cargo holds carrying wine, glassware, coral, and gold. They return loaded with pepper, cardamom, ivory, pearls, precious stones, and fine timber. Languages from across the Indian Ocean fill the marketplaces. Deals are made, ideas are exchanged, and new communities begin to settle. Roman writers even complained that too much gold was flowing out of the empire because of the demand for Indian luxuries, especially pepper. But Rome wasn't alone. Arab merchants had traded with this coast long before European empires arrived, Chinese traders followed, and Persian merchants became regular visitors. Kerala was becoming more than a trading center. It was becoming a meeting place for civilizations. Trade brought wealth, but something even more important arrived alongside it: people. And wherever people travel, stories travel with them, languages travel with them, and beliefs travel with them. Over the centuries, those encounters would shape Kerala in ways that are still visible today. For most of history, the Indian Ocean wasn't a barrier. It was a bridge. Every trading season, ships arrived on Kerala's coast carrying more than goods. They carried languages, customs, beliefs, and new ways of looking at the world. Unlike many parts of history where cultures met through conquest, much of Kerala's early interaction with the outside world grew through commerce. Merchants returned year after year, some eventually settling along the coast and becoming part of the communities they traded with. Long before the arrival of European colonial powers, Hindu kingdoms flourished across the region, shaping Kerala's language, art, architecture, and traditions. Temple festivals, classical dance forms like Kathakali and Mohiniyattam, and the martial art of Kalaripayattu all evolved from this rich cultural foundation. From the 7th century onwards, Arab merchants strengthened their presence along the Malabar coast. As trade expanded, Islam spread gradually through commercial relationships, local conversions, and intermarriage. Many of Kerala's oldest mosques date back centuries, reflecting a history deeply connected to maritime trade rather than military conquest. Christianity also has an unusually long history in Kerala. According to long-standing tradition, Saint Thomas the Apostle arrived on the Malabar coast in the 1st century CE. While historians continue to debate the historical evidence surrounding his journey, there is broad agreement that an ancient Christian community existed in Kerala long before the arrival of European missionaries. The Jewish community added another unique chapter to Kerala's story. Jewish traders are believed to have reached the Malabar coast centuries ago, eventually establishing communities around Kodungalur and later Kochi. For generations, they lived alongside their neighbors while preserving their own religious and cultural traditions. By the time the Portuguese arrived at the end of the 15th century, Kerala had already spent centuries connected to the wider world. This diversity didn't erase local traditions. It became part of them. The result was a society where different communities often shared the same towns, the same markets, and in many cases, the same language. Trade had connected Kerala to the world. Now, a new chapter was about to begin, one that would transform Kerala from within. By the 19th century, Kerala was changing, not because of spices, not because of foreign trade, but because people within the society began asking difficult questions. Like much of India, Kerala had long been shaped by a rigid caste system. Social divisions influenced education, occupations, and even access to public spaces. Over time, reformers began challenging these inequalities. Among the most influential was Sri Narayana Guru, who preached the message, one caste, one religion, one God for mankind. His work encouraged education, social equality, and dignity for communities that had long faced discrimination. Around the same period, reformers such as Ayankali fought for the rights of marginalized communities, especially in education and public life. Their efforts helped expand opportunities that had previously been denied to many. Education gradually became one of Kerala's strongest foundations. Missionary schools, community organizations, and princely states all invested in expanding access to learning. Unlike in many other regions, education increasingly reached girls as well as boys. This wasn't an overnight transformation. It took generations. Parents began seeing education not simply as a privilege, but as a path to a better future. After India's independence, Kerala continued this direction. Land reforms reduced the concentration of land ownership and gave greater security to many farming families. Public investment in schools and primary healthcare expanded further, while local self-governance encouraged communities to take part in development. Literacy campaigns reached adults who had never attended school. Primary healthcare centers reached villages that had previously lacked medical services. Step by step, these changes improved everyday life. The results became visible over the following decades. Literacy continued to rise. Life expectancy increased. Infant mortality declined. Healthcare became more accessible. None of these achievements came from a single policy. They were built over decades through education, public participation, and continuous social reform. By the end of the 20th century, Kerala had begun attracting attention from economists and development experts around the world. People started referring to it as something unique, the Kerala model. Today, Kerala consistently ranks among India's leading states in literacy, life expectancy, and several other measures of human development. These achievements are often grouped under the term the Kerala model. It doesn't mean Kerala is perfect, nor does it mean every problem has been solved. Instead, it describes a different path of development, one that placed significant emphasis on education, healthcare, and social welfare alongside economic growth. This is visible across the state. Government schools compete with private institutions. Primary healthcare centers are found even in rural areas. Libraries, reading rooms, and local cultural organizations remain active in thousands of villages. Kerala's artistic traditions have also continued to evolve. From Kathakali and Deyam to Malayalam literature and cinema, the state's cultural identity remains deeply connected to its history while constantly adapting to the present. Its landscapes have become equally well known: the backwaters of Alappuzha, the tea plantations of Munnar, the forests of Wayanad, the beaches stretching along the Arabian Sea. Together, they have made tourism one of Kerala's major industries. For many visitors, Kerala appears to be a remarkable success story. But every success creates new challenges, and some of Kerala's biggest challenges are the direct result of the progress it has achieved. Kerala's story isn't just about success. It is also about difficult questions. Migration has shaped Kerala for decades. Gulf opportunities transformed millions of lives, while remittances strengthened the state's economy. Today, many educated young people also move to Europe, North America, Australia, and other Indian cities in search of opportunities. Kerala also faces an aging population, increasing healthcare demands, climate change, floods, landslides, waste management issues, and the challenge of balancing development with environmental conservation. So, why does Kerala feel different? Not because of one event. Kerala feels different because geography created opportunity. Trade connected Kerala to the world. Cultures met, interacted, and evolved together. Social reform transformed society. Education and healthcare improved everyday life. Migration connected Kerala to every corner of the world. Together, these forces shaped the Kerala we know today. Every place has a story. Kerala's story is the story of a coastline that connected civilizations, welcomed ideas, and kept adapting through every generation. Its journey is still unfolding. The choices made today will shape the Kerala of tomorrow. History isn't something we leave behind. It's something we continue to write. Thank you for spending your time with us. If you enjoyed this story and would like to explore more fascinating moments from history, consider subscribing and joining us on this journey. We'll see you in the next story.